The next skill that we are going to learn is positive form and negative space. Now, what we need to learn here is to recognize positive form and the negative space around it. What do I actually mean by that? We look at the positive form of what we are drawing: the teapot, the little hen egg container, the jug, and the fruit sitting on the bench. Now we can take out or put in whatever else we want out of this actual picture. I'm just going to focus on those 4 elements there. Now, if we look at the positive form of what we are drawing, that is those 4 objects. If we look at the negative space around it, that's all of the space that surrounds those objects. If we draw that positive space, we will have the outline of our objects. So what we're going to do here is we're going to fill in all of our negative space. Hang on, make sure it's not going through onto our piece underneath. No, it's not. I think I better take that out just in case it does. And what we're doing here is we're filling in our negative space with a black marker. Looking at our picture, checking out the shape of the negative space. We're going into here, then we're going around the edges of our lace cloths. Why are we using a black marker? Because it gives us nice big thick lines. We can't fiddle too much. Makes a scratchy noise, but it does the job. Now, when we get that edge done, we can look at the space inside of the handle and before we get to the teapot. What it's getting you to do here is looking at your object differently. You're looking at the negative space that surrounds it, and you're trying to draw those shapes instead of looking at your object that you're drawing. Look at the negative space that surrounds it. As you can see, you're starting to get the shape of a teapot. Look at that funny little shape in here. Now we're going to draw down in here, which is the shape that is in between the jug and the teapot. Fill that shape in. And the space that's in the handle of the jug. the top of the handle. Little shape around there, down into there. And we have to go follow that line up there. So what we're actually doing is you learned the first skill, which is recognizing or seeing the line that separates these shapes. And now you're learning about the actual shape. The shapes that surround the objects that you're drawing. That's why we use this big black marker, because it's really quick. There you go. So we're starting to get the shape of the objects that we're drawing. You remember when you watch cartoons and Bugs Bunny would bust through the wall and there'd be a bunny-shaped hole there. Well, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get the shape of the objects. And once you have those, you've got your picture drawn. Whoops, I've gone round the shape of the mat that it's sitting on, but I'm going to cut that out because I'm just looking at these 4 objects that we're drawing. So I'm not going to worry about putting that in. I'm just going to concentrate on the teapot, the jug, the fruit, and the egg holder. And there's one little tiny shape left inside here that we're going to fill in. So this gives you the shape of what you're drawing. Looking at the negative shapes. Looking at this shape here. To get the shape of the top of the teapot. Looking at this shape in here to get the shape of the spout. Looking at this shape in here, again to draw the bottom of the spout. Looking at this shape in here inside the handle to get the proper shape of the handle. You're using the external negative shapes to get the actual shapes of your form correct.